I haven't said this intro in a while, so. Good morning, Wastelanders, Tank Commanders, Space Explorers, Realm Divers, and anyone in between. So, today it is Reset Day here in World of Tanks, and it is also Reset Day in a lot of other games. But the other major game that I'm excited for is Fallout 76 because today it is the 5th birthday of the release of the game. So I will be doing my usual here, seeing what's updated, what's new, and see if there's anything interesting. Because I'm not for nothing, but this past week I felt like it was a little bit lackluster. Yeah, there was a few uh, events here and there. They had a 24-hour event that was a charity event. Um, they did have. They currently do have a community event. What the heck that was that dropped? I have no idea. Swear to God, if it's a gremlin living under the bed, I'll be annoyed. But, um, and for those who may not notice, no glasses today. I should be getting replacement parts for the nose guard, so that way they don't dig into the bridge of my nose. But yeah, I can still see. It's just everything is a bit of a blurry mess. Not too bad. Not too bad. So, let's dive on in and see what we got this week. I am almost done with my current contract that I'm completing. I forgot which tank it was even for. And I literally hopped in half an hour ago to once again prevent this. But guess the game had other ideas. It's weird because, like I said, as far as I knew, this game's update time is 5 in the morning. So we got early Black Friday sales. Start saving early plus take some free XP. Sales begin November 14th. So starting this week, we will have early Black Friday deals. Okay. So I'm assuming things are going to be maybe like 30% off. Probably no more than that. If so, that would be awesome, but maybe 50% off. What else we got? Tank Mastery. Choose your class and obtain points and win rewards. So this is one that pops up every now and then where you get to choose which tank class you want to become more proficient in. And the better you do with that class, you gain points. But it pretty much means you can't earn any of the points if you utilize a different class. Let's say you want to specialize in medium tanks for the event. You can still play lights, heavies, destroyers, artillery. You just won't get any points towards getting rewards. So this is definitely a good event for anybody who already knows what like class they pretty much just want to stick to. I myself, I'm fond of all three. No, for I don't really use artillery, but I don't think it's because I have really any. But I do like lights. For those who may not know, one of my personal favorite lights is the PT7. It definitely grew on me. For mediums, probably the Panzer IV from the World War II era, or the Sherman Firefly. Can't really think of any heavies in the World War II era, but in the Cold War, there's the WZ, the Condor M636. Well, the WZ is a heavy, the M636 is a medium. Alright, so we still got 13 days left in the Thanksgiving event. We have already hit 16 million points, so more than halfway there. So I'm confident that this could be done. I'm going to head into the Cold War era. That's the alternator. Let's see. Should be here soon. Okay. So let me double check because my wife sent me a link. So we've been having some car issues. Now look at that, see? Thanks to the community event, everybody doing their part, putting in the effort, we've been able to make it to rank 6. Halfway to getting that kick-ass tank. Now they re-added temporarily vehicles that you could get with free XP, which for me kind of sucks because I ended up using 90,000 free XP to obtain the UDIS. So, womp womp. Sorry, feeling a little under the weather. Woke up this morning coughing and slightly wheezing, and next thing you know, lung pain. But I'm still alive. I'm not dead yet. No. No, I think she sent it to me on Messenger. Unfortunately, one of our neighbors recently had a few of their packages stolen. So, yeah, see, it give me the update now that it's out for delivery. So I just gotta track that. I'm gonna keep that tab open, just in case. But let's see what we got. 10 collector gray tanks return. Get these vehicles with free XP. The latest tanks for free XP event will be available for the next 2 weeks. Alright, so there's maybe an opportunity to try to re-up on some XP depending on how much it's going to be for each one. Use your free XP on a hand-picked selection of high-end premiums while you can. Available only through November 27th. The Object 260, model 1945. The WZ-111 Quillen? Or Quillen, yeah. The VK7201K and more. Okay. For some reason, the game sounds a little quiet to me, but I don't know. So first things first, let's check out the store. Season Pass is still available. Cold War tanks, what did they add? We have the Wallet Saver. TCM AGS. Nice. What is this? A light tank. Huh. I would have thought that was like an SPG or artillery. Light tank. The Alvis Stormer 30. Oh, but this is the ultimate. I like to look at the basic. I don't really like to look at the additional stuff. So we got the Alvis Stormer 30 with a 25% off. Another light tank. Let's see, the Wallet Saver, 30% off. Yeah, like I said, at most, well, the bigger bundle's 35% off, but I figured at most for a tank in itself would only be about 30% discount. So I finished laundry. Just came into the urgent care to get checked. Yeah, see, I will always tell everybody, no matter how busy your day is, take care of yourself. Whether it's something small that you think is just like a minor cold, or a bruise that doesn't want to go away, or pain in a part of your body that is, bugging you, but you feel like it'll go away, it'll go away. 2 weeks later, it's still there. Take care of yourselves. More urgent cares I've noticed have been popping up around my neighborhoods. And I think that's pretty great, considering that a lot of places now, it's hard to get in to get, seen by a doctor. So urgent cares or even urgent care visits are very important for self-care. Because we only get one life, Don't play with it. The Wallet Saver FV42001 slash T95E1. 30% off to get the tank and a garage slot for 6,600. Okay. What else we got? The Rock Crawler's still here. Things looks like a beast, but what's its speed? Pretty decent. So I don't know. I may have to bundle for it. Alright, what do we got? World War II. 50% off on these. Okay, that's a good surprise. The resolution is AMX 1357. But I think I got that one as a reward. I got an additional deal. So, same with this one. Super savings. Because I did great in the battlefield, I got an offer for 50% off of this. This weekly deal is the Equalizer. Artillery. Oh, damn. I swear World War II and Cold War had some crazy designs. The Mantis loaded. No, here's the Mantis. See if I can zoom in a little more. And I know not all of these are like one for one real, you know, recreations, but they did pretty good with a lot of these things. And even the ones that are mercenaries, which are essentially mismatches of different tank parts put together. A la Mad Max style or something. What do we got in auxiliary? A lot of sales going on. 50% off, 15% off, 35% off. Okay. Nothing that really pops at me for the moment. Premium. Convert your resources, which costs gold to do anyway, so I probably won't do that. Holy hell, I got 4 million silver again? Jeez. Didn't collect my free daily chest, I might as well just get that out the way and collect it now. Let's see what I got. 1.5 XP booster and some 1,250 free XP. Wow. Okay, that's actually pretty generous. For free XP? Yeah. Profile, what do we got here? No war chest unlocked. I'm only at level A. Yeah, I have not been putting in much effort this month. I'm not even gonna lie. Contracts, what do we got? The other two are done, so it's only the Deadbolt, the AP AMX 30, which this one's around for 20 days. No, wait, 40 days or 48 days. 104 days for the Sharpshooter. And this one's still there for another 20. So, but I'm already like halfway done with this one, I think. Because it's a tier 5. Yeah, see, I'm already on rank 6. I'm going to at least try to get it done by the end of the week. So this way, I'm good to go on that. Now, seasons. This is where I want to go to see what we have for more challenges. Damage Master. Place in the top 5 damage dealers on your team, and you get some silver. Okay. 25,000 silver. You can repeat it twice. I don't know if it's twice a week or twice a day. Because with some of these, you can do it, you know, over and over. You got hole in the enemies. Penetrate 10 or more shots in a battle. You get a free med kit. I mean, it's not one of the enhanced med kits which you could use over and over during a match. You can only use this once. So, alright, our resolutions. Tank Mastery. Tank Class Mastery. Choose which tank class you want to prove your skills in. So this is where you go and you choose which class do you want to try to grind in to complete challenges to get some free rewards. Now, because of the contracts, hold on, cat hair, mustache hair. Never mind, I'm losing my mustache. Because of the current contract that I'm on, I have to utilize mediums and heavies. So, mediums is more consistent because there's a lot of contracts that require you to use lights and mediums, heavies, you know. So I'm probably just gonna use medium. Alright, so what can I get? Alright. Will it pop up at the top? So for medium tank mastery, I can earn points, and when I get those points, I get vouchers for what exactly? Alright, here we go. 5 points, I get 150,000 silver. 10 points, enhanced medkits, commander XP booster. So you get pretty much free consumables. Still got the resolutions. I'm only gonna be able to do one more season after this before the year is up. So hopefully I'm able to get that tank for a really good price. Had I been able to do at least 5 out of the 6 seasons, I would have been able to get the tank for free. But when the Gladiator season was out, I didn't get a chance to finish it. Still got the long haul. I haven't done any points this month. And it seems like that's it, aside from the Thanksgiving points, which is the community event. So, I don't know. Hopefully, there'll be something more fun. Because I completed all the challenges, and I haven't even done week 7 and 8 worth of challenges because it's not worth it to me. Do we have any sales on anything else, though? No sales on commanders. And we did get some additional tanks added here. But I'm assuming it's going to be maybe a few in the Cold War era. But primarily I'm assuming it's going to be World War II. So anything that is highlighted gray, I am able to purchase. So just anything that is not highlighted is usually stuff that gets locked off either for an event or contract or reward for something, you know. Gold, 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 gold. All of this costs gold. Yeah, so it's World War II tanks then. Any sales on any regulars? Nothing. I don't know, y'all. It seems like a pretty dead week here again, for the most part. Okay, so I'm gonna hop over to the World War II era. See what's going on there. So we've already established there's no sales on commanders. What about nation-specific tanks? Are there anything there? Nope. Nope, no tech tree sales. It's funny because you would think they would probably try to push more things out in terms of goodies, rewards, and challenges during the holidays, no? I'm not even going to bother looking through all of it. Just within the first couple of branches, I don't see any discounts. I'm just going to skip through them. So, hand selected collector's premiums, huh? These are all mercenary tanks, so. Alright. Filters. What filters can I add? Nice tree stuff. I'm gonna have to go probably tier 10 first. Because odds are, that's where the free XP exchange ones are pretty much gonna be all like higher tier tanks. See, for example, this one, 450,000 XP. 450,000 XP. 450,000 XP. 450,000 XP. Screw that. 350,000. 350,000. 350,000. I probably would have already had 150,000, but 350,000. I'm not even going to bother with the names because it's just like the freaking price alone is like, nope. 7,000. And I think that might have been it because it says supposedly 10 tanks. I'm pretty sure those were the 10 right there. Unless those are added to what's already existent, but I mean, I'm not seeing anything. Like I'm not. My nephew's coughing, so I gotta check on him. I'll be back. And my little nephew was a little under the weather, so I think my sister went to do some laundry and get some cold medicine for him. So I'm just keeping an ear out to make sure he's okay. Let's see what else we got. Chieftain. No. All of this so far seems to be gold based. Nothing else. XP. I mean, 11,000 gold. 10,000 gold. And the cheapest I've ever seen an XP tank for was like I think a tier 4, tier 5 for like 90,000 XP. $12,000, 9,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 8,000. But I mean, to be fair, there's a bunch of tanks to go through, so. Six, 5. Four, 9, 6, 5, 5, 4. Now I'm in the tier 7, so I mean, I should have expected to see 1 or 2 maybe by now. All of these are gold. Unless they literally just added the 10 that you can do for the event, but that's it. They didn't like bring back any of the older tanks for any XP deals, which is kind of horse crap, because that means how does this event benefit like a casual player at all? It would benefit people who have spent a bunch of time grinding out and saving up. How does that event benefit a casual player? Like that is trash. I'm sorry, but that is trash. At least have a little bit of something for everybody. Even if it's nothing like too great, like a tier 5 or tier 4. You know? Nope, none of these. None of these are freaking available. So, that whole XP buy sale going on, whatever, screw that. That's just trash. Like, seriously, it took me a while. And again, I'm not really like a grindy person. I like to play more casually, but still have fun. That event means nothing to me. 450,000 free XP. 450,000. Yeah, no. So let's see. Deal damage and earn XP. I think. I can't really see it from here, so I'm gonna have to go into the actual contract. Earn XP, land 40 penetration. Okay. Medium and heavies, I think it was. Yeah, mediums and heavies. Yeah, so I'm gonna use this for a little bit. That being said, probably like 11:30, I'm gonna hop off here, and then see if I could get something for lunch. Maybe like a bacon, egg, and cheese. Or a breakfast beef patty, which are really good. If you haven't eaten a custom beef patty, you're not living. And when I say custom, I mean you could pretty much ask the cook to put whatever you want in between it. I once had a beef patty that was made with pepperoni, steak, lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions, jalapenos, and some chipotle peppers in a cocoa bread. Best freaking thing, and I think it was like $5. That thing was huge, so totally worth it. Or a breakfast beef patty with like bacon, egg and cheese, or a steak egg and cheese, or a sausage egg and cheese with pepper and ketchup in a beef patty. Hey, gotta enjoy your life. You gotta enjoy your life. You know, like I always say, we gotta take care of ourselves. I'm sorry, just gotta make sure this thing is working properly. Yeah. Like, I might be taking small breaks from streaming Tankery, only because, again, I nothing really. Who is you? Is this really happening in the game? But I may do. Well, originally, if it wasn't for the Fallout event, I would probably be doing Tiny Tina's Wonderlands with Leo. But originally I had figured to do that over on Twitch. But I would like to have like another game that we stream over here in the meantime. And currently in the store for free, it is Aliens Team Firestorm or Firestorm Team or something like that. It's like a multiplayer co-op survival game with the Alien movie settings as the background, I guess, or the Aliens universe. So, you know, it might be an interesting game to play. Ooh. There we go. I'm blind, but not that blind. Jeez, I'm not surviving this. Ooh, what time was that? Listen, I'm still waiting on the BT-42. I am still waiting on the BT-42 because I want that tank. I want that tank. I wish the YouTube Studio for phone allowed you to manage your live streams the same way I'm able to do on Twitch. So this way I could just have the music muted or the video clip muted and play my music in the background. Just focus on chat. Let's see. I'll keep the heavies on. I'll do mediums and lights. Nah. I use a Condor. I'm really hoping that they add some new stuff in the more, maybe not new stuff, but at least some good deals for the Thanksgiving items in Fallout, because my God, I want some Thanksgiving stuff. I got to see the table that Leo had set up for Thanksgiving in his camp, and the fact that they use mason jars for glasses with the Vault Boy icon, it looks like engraved in it, or laser printed or something like that, or etched into the mason jar. I think that's amazing. I'm a big fan of mason jars, especially if they got the lid. I'm still trying to see if I could find a good place to get a couple of mason jar wine glasses. 8, 7, 6. Because right now the main thing is just getting penetrating shots and earning XP, so. Let me see if I could do something in a bit. After this match, I'm gonna see if I can finagle something, because I need music. I don't know if maybe it's like... So, ever since I was younger, going to school, and from I think junior high and up, always needed to have music to help me concentrate, if that makes any sense. Because in elementary school it was fine, but I felt like I wasn't able to pay attention too much. But as I got older, and then in junior high, I got a Walkman, and I would always carry my CD case with me. The music I got either from like LimeWire or what was it? There was another one that people use. Torrent? No. Sheesh. No penetration on that one either. I'm not doing any freaking penetrating damage on that. That's horrible. But so I used to carry my headphones, but it would be like these kind of headphones. So during class, I would always have to take them off. Eventually, I wound up getting earbuds. And Skull Candies were one of my favorites later on. But in junior high, I don't think I really bought Skull Candies. So what I ended up doing was, so that the teachers couldn't tell that I was wearing my headphones, I would loop the wire behind my ear, and I let my hair grow a little long, kind of like how it is now. Oh, you son of a bitch! You freaking codfish! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Is he gonna run away? Yeah, you better run away, you little jerk. Somebody kill him. Think? Yeah. But, yeah, I'm dead. But I would always keep my headphones in, but have it loop behind my ear. So this way, the teacher would never be able to tell that I had my headphones on. And then, so that even then the wire wouldn't show around through the front, I would take the cable from behind and like crisscross them over behind my neck. So as it went up, right from behind, crisscross, so you wouldn't see them here. It would literally just go around the back of my neck. And I made sure I pulled the cable apart just enough, so underneath my collar, you wouldn't be able to tell. ¿Qué pasa, Leo? Reminiscing of my younger days and how I used to get away with listening to music in class. And for the longest time, teachers would never bother me because they were like, oh, you know, he's doing his work. But not knowing that I was actually listening to music on a low level, so this way, for some reason, for me, it helped me actually concentrate. Because I don't think on here, I don't think the regular @ works, since you can't really do shoutouts innately. See, because I have to manually type in the name every time. And even then, I probably wouldn't do anything on YouTube, so. Custom commands are a big help. But, I mean, I would get in trouble a few times. And the teacher would tell me to take my headphones out. But, nah, I wouldn't listen. I would tell him I'm still doing my work. But other kids would sometimes get annoyed with the teachers. Because they'd be like, how come you're letting him listening to music in his headphones and this and that? And the teachers would just respond, at least he's actually doing the work. You guys show up on a regular basis, you know, and don't even pay attention. And it didn't help that because I tended to have like concentration issues, and I always felt like school wasn't the right pace. Sometimes I wouldn't want to go to school, and you know, my parents always thought I was like, you're just being lazy, you don't want to go to school and this and that. I would always say, no, it's just to me, school is boring. I learn a lot of the information. I don't feel like I could retain it, and it's pointless. You know, it's a waste of my time. So, and then sometimes I would get sick. I always had a bit of a messed up immune system. So, going to school wasn't always consistent, but when I would go, I would at least get good grades. Never been a big fan of homework though, so I will say that. That is the one thing my teachers would always tell me would hold me back from getting the best possible grade, is the fact that I wouldn't do my homework. But I mean, come on, who wants to spend in a building, even now as adults, who wants to go somewhere for 8 hours, have to retain information or do tasks, and then take that same freaking workload, whether it's school or work, and take it back home and do it at home for another 2 hours before they can enjoy their own peace of mind and their own time for themselves or their families? That makes no sense. Because realistically speaking, there's only 12 hours in the day. If 8 of those hours are spent at work, that means you only got 4 hours. And if 2 of those hours are spent doing additional work from home, then you only got 2 hours. 2 hours to take a shower, get a bite to eat, spend what little time you can with your family, and then go to bed. Sometimes not even be able to do that. Yeah. I will always say homework is honestly bullshit. Go to school to learn your academics. Go to school to learn, you know, learn how to read and write. But then when you get home, learn about life. Use that time to learn about the world around you, your neighborhood, the people you live around, you know. Playing outside, working on your motor skills, having memories of adventures and stuff like that. I never would ever be able to understand the point of homework. Oh, just to make sure you know you're learning what you're supposed to learn. Like, my daughter has proved to me that she comes home, she tells me, Dad, I don't like doing homework. I'm like, Josie, don't worry, just do what you can. If we can't finish it, that's fine. But then when she goes to school, she's able to math work. Last time she had a test, only got 2 questions wrong. And again, we don't really do like math homework. We don't really do homework at home. We try to get it done just for the sake of saying we did it, but you know, I have full confidence that my kid is bright enough to learn what she has to and just retain what she needs to. And so yeah, because of that, I was never fully consistent when it came to school. And God bless my parents; they always had to deal with issues with the teachers, calling them up, or you know, after my parents separated, freaking social workers coming to the house. And even when I would explain to them, who knows, maybe I am on the spectrum, maybe I do have some dyslexic or ADHD issues that were never diagnosed. I mean, who knows? But you know, at the time, it was always just me being stupid or me just being lazy or unfocused. But I made it through school. You know, I'll admit this. I never graduated my final year. 1.5 credits short. I never let that stop me. And it's either 1.5 or 2 credits, 2.5 credits short in English, of all things. Um, yeah. But then when I would go to work with my friend, here's a funny story. Um, when I was about 17, no, like about 17, when my parents had separated, my mom would tell me that if I'm not gonna go to school, I better go to work. You know, I better help out around the house with bills, with rent, this and that. So at one point during the summertime, a friend of mine, well, a friend of my mom's, he worked for this guy. I think his name was like Richie or Chris or something, who had a pool company. Now, he would go to people's houses, you know, with a catalog, and they would pick out which pools they wanted. They would order the parts. It would be delivered to his house, and he would set it up for them. Or I think there was also a shop that they would go to the shop. They would see, the displays of what pools they had, and then him and his crew would be the ones to go and set it up, whether it was above ground, in ground, right? From all the parts, the uprights, the liner, the base, leveling up the ground, sanding everything, pouring sand to give it a nice smooth texture, all of that. And my friend said, you know what, Johnny has a good head, I'm sure he could learn how to pick this up. So he brought me along with him. Now back then, all right, so I was like 17, so this would be roughly 15 years ago. $10 an hour. And on the days we would go, it would be from 8 in the morning till pretty much sundown. We would try to do at least one pool from start to finish in a day. Start filling her up. And so from like 8 in the morning till about 5, 6 in the afternoon, with about an hour, half an hour to an hour lunch break. And either we brought our own lunch, or sometimes, the boss would be like, you know what, I'm gonna go get you guys some lunch. The fuck you guys want? So it was the boss, my friend Eric, another guy who spoke like pretty much no English. Well, he understood it very well, but and he was like in his 50s already. And then myself. So 4 people doing a full crew job. And the first time I went, I did decent, but I did mess up a few times. I had to learn how to use the stomper to level out the sand. I had to learn how to use the measuring devices to make sure everything was level. I had to learn how to use the level. I had to learn how to use get better at using like the large sledgehammers and stuff like that to get rid of any rocks that were in the way. And within the first, I think, 3 weeks, because it was 3 days out of the week that we would go. Within the first 3 weeks, I learned and retained enough information where if I were to see all the materials at my hand, I would be able to be like, okay, this goes there, this goes there. This is how we have to set up the uprights. Here's the first thing we got to do. We got to first lay down the groundwork, clear out the area with about, I think, like 2 inches around each side before you could fill it in to make sure you have everything nicely leveled. And then we would use the cinder blocks or slat rocks, like nice flat even rocks. And first clear out the rocks, make sure the dirt was fairly level, so this way we would have to use as little sand as possible for the top layer. Then measure where each pillar is going to go with each upright, and then put the bases down, stomp out the dirt and the sand, lay out the liner in the sun so this way it could expand easily, and then put the panels, the uprights, and then start with your tools putting everything all in. And it got to a point where I went, within the first month, I went from making 10 an hour to I think 14 an hour, because the boss was very impressed with how I worked. And again, at 17, and You know, and this is back when your bosses see your hard work and they reward you for the hard work. Nowadays, a lot of bosses, they see your hard work and all they do is give you a pat on the back, maybe a piece of party, and tell you, "Good job, keep those, keep up that work ethic." You know, so I know people bag on others saying, "Oh, that's just quiet quitting." Nah, 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 nah. It's just the people are realizing now what we knew back then. If you're gonna work hard and it's not gonna be appreciated, why work hard? I mean, at least that's how I see it. I'll always put in the effort 100% as long as I feel like it's going to be appreciated and valued. And if I feel like it's not, then I'm just going to find somewhere else where that's going to be the case. And, my friend told him, he's like, "Hey, boss, Johnny's picking up really good. He's learning how to do things." Listen, this one time I got into an argument with the boss, too. Second week in, on the last day of the second week, we were putting together at this lady's house. I can kind of remember it. Like, it was horrible because I don't know if the septic tank where she lived had to be replaced, but it smelled horrible in her backyard. But that's where she wanted the pool. So when it was time to do the uprights, I told the boss I had a feeling they were going in upside down because the way the holes are drilled are very similar. But you have to orient the proper direction. Otherwise, when it comes to putting the panels where you're going to attach the liners, they won't match up. And it has a bottom base, the holder for where the panels are going to be connected, and then the top cover so it looks nice. So I told the boss, I don't think they're going in right. I think they're upside down. He's like, "Listen, I've been doing this for how many fucking years? I know how it has to go." All right. We finished up. And it was time to put in the liner with the panels. And he goes to try to connect the first panel. No, it wasn't the liner, the panels. It was time to put in the panels to try to get the job done because it was near in the afternoon. And he looks at me and he says, "Oh shit, Johnny, you were right." He and this is the kind of man that does not like to admit when he's wrong. Like, I got that right off the bat. He had a strong sense of character. Like, if he was right, he was right. If he knew it, he knew it. You can't argue with the man. When I tell you guys, my friend Eric looked at him in utter awe. Like, this man admitted he was wrong? He looked at me, he said, "You know what? You were right. Shit, now we're gonna have to do all of these all over again. And that's gonna kill us about another hour." Well, maybe like half an hour. Because you had to unbolt them, flip them over, rebolt them, make sure the holes are lined up properly, and then, So I told him, listen, don't worry about it. Give me the right tools, which was like, all I needed was a ratchet and a wrench, and I think that was it. So I could unbolt the cover, unbolt it from the base, and then just flip it. I said, since I'm the fastest, let me worry about that as you guys are putting in that. Let me just get started with the first 3. Let me get started ahead of you guys with the first 3. So that way you have one panel to work with, and then you could attach the next panel and just keep it going. As soon as I'm done with that third one, you guys follow right along behind me and start putting in those panels. We're not going to waste any time. Again, my friend Eric was surprised that our boss said, "You know what? Okay, I trust you." Somebody who's only been there for 2 weeks. He said, "I trust you." They got to work putting in the panels, sitting them properly. As I'm going ahead, flipping, going. Literally, in like 15 minutes. It would have taken about 45 minutes of having to redo all of that and then go behind. We got it done in about 15 minutes. He was so freaking happy after that. And he up and told the other guy who's been there for I think like 3 years. And he's and when it came to give me the raise, he laughed. He's like, you know what? Yeah, you deserve it. Cause you and he adjusted his rearview mirror. He's like, cause you've been able to do in 3 weeks, what this motherfucker hasn't been able to learn in 3 years. I felt bad because I mean it was my coworker, my senior technically, in age and experience. I was laughing on the inside, but I'm like, fuck. And towards the end of the summer, because you know it's during the summertime that it picks up. Towards the end of the summer, he left me and Eric at one site while he went to do another pool. So essentially, we were able to up our efficiency and productivity because of that. Because he was confident that if Eric messed up, I'd be able to pick up the slack. Like, he had confidence that if one of us messed up, because he already knew Eric knew what he was doing, between two people, we could do the work of 5. And that was an awesome feeling. That was a really awesome feeling. So that stuff I didn't learn really in school. Yeah, I mean a few of the geometry stuff and leveling stuff I had. The heck? What the heck? I'll be right back. I hear weird loud banging noises. And it's just my brother cleaning up in the kitchen. I told him I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to take out the recycling bin. I took out the kitchen trash, our bedroom trash, and when I saw what time it was, I'm like, oh damn, running a little late. But yeah, there were a few things that I did learn in school. Yeah, I mean I'm not gonna say it's completely useless, but I think more so now, when we live in an age of technology where almost everything is available at our fingertips, we can learn what we can in school at home on our own time. But for me, I feel more so than perhaps high school is what not as necessary. Elementary school, yes, because you learn a lot of the basic, essential skills. And then in junior high, same thing. That's when you start to develop a little more, refined skills and even better social skills. But then once you go to high school, high schoolers, they don't keep their interests as long. Or it seems like when we get to that point in high school, like that age frame, our sense of wonder for the world, it's more or less gone. And become more entertained by the immediate things around us, like the people around us, the groups, the friends, that. Instead of wondering, like when we're little kids, how does the sky work? What makes a star shine? Like as little kids, we have all that amazement and excitement and want to learn. But by the time we reach high school, we pretty much picked up a lot of the essential stuff. So then it's like, okay, so what you guys up to? You guys want to hang out? You want to go to the mall? Want to go to the park? That's when the more of the social skills start to become a priority instead of world skills. No, I mean, So high school, either A, it needs to be restructured, or B, maybe it just needs to disappear. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Or at the very least, swap out what is being taught in high school, because for that we have trade schools. If people want to learn something fairly specific, trade schools. But life skills, how to apply for a mortgage or a loan for a house, how to do your taxes, how to try to calculate to make sure you don't end up owing the government, even though the government knows exactly how much you owe them, but they refuse to tell you, and it's all a freaking guessing game. And if you guess wrong, you go to jail. What the heck? It's like, I don't tell you how much you owe me. You tell me how much you think you owe me, and if you're wrong, guess what? Then you owe me more. You get hit with a penalty. That's some toxic gaslighting relationship right there, man. I know. How to cook, essential things. How to balance your bank accounts, not even your checkbooks anymore, but how to balance your credit card debt. How to apply for credit cards with good yearly interest rates. How to find a good life insurance policy. Car insurance policy. Basic road test knowledge. I'm pretty sure the funny thing is, at one point in time, learning how to drive was part of a high school curriculum. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure back like during the 60s and 70s, heck, I think they even might have made a few references to that in some of the period movies, where learning how to drive was actually part of the curriculum. And then you would go to your actual road test, but with the full knowledge provided by the school on how to drive. We need to get that back. But then there would also be nowadays like liability issues, students. So then, that might have been one of the reasons why they got rid of it. Maybe kids were getting too oh yeah, joyride or something. Or purposely causing accidents, with school property. Who knows? Life is strange. Life is complicated. Still gotta get a few more penetrating shots. Is it 11:22? Okay, 11:22. So, yeah, I've been live for about an hour. So, I think 11:30. I'll take my break, and then I'll come back. Maybe 11:50, so I could hop into group chat with Leo. See if Commander's online, and well, I'll probably do my whole store spiel first, since I know without a doubt if Commander's in the group, at one point all I'm gonna hear is fuck while I'm trying to do my store review. So I will join the group chat after. Alright, can I change the settings in the audience for this thing while I'm live? Because yeah, no, I'm gonna get. I don't want to get in trouble, Blah. Anyways, as soon as this becomes a VOD, I'm gonna make sure it's not suitable for children. Let's see. Yeah, I'll do the Condor. Heck, All right, so during the summer, now I remember. So during the summertime when I was 17, I went to work with my mom's friend, for pool building. Then I I don't know if the year before during the fall to winter or if it was that same year. Um, Damn, how old do you have to be able to drink? I just got sidetracked because I forgot. What should be? I want to 21. Okay, 21. So either way, this. So maybe it was at around that time. Um, well, it was either when I was 16 or 17 during the fall, almost New Year's. So I think it was like end of October, November, and December. So for 3 months, I worked at a bar overnight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and those were the best days to work because it's the weekend. A lot of people were going to bars, and I was a bar back. Yeah, and this is how you can tell when somebody is new in the bar, you know, field or industry, working in that industry. Because the first day being in there, 3 or 4 hours into shift, I asked, so when do I get a break to get something to eat? And the kitchen staff looked at me and laughed. And they said, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah. It was just me and one other person as barbacks. So essentially it's like busboys, but we also have the bars back, you know. If they need ice, we gotta get it for them. If they need limes or lemons, we gotta get it for them. They run out of cherries, we gotta get it for them. They ran out of glasses, guess what? We gotta run into the kitchen, have the washer deal with that, the dishwasher deal with that. Or if there was no dishwasher, guess what? We had to freaking load up the trays, put it in the machine, and then just keep it moving. That was our job. Essentially, we are the spine of the freaking bar. Drinks run out, guess what? We got to replace the syrup. They're out of beers, okay, got to go to the walk-in freezer, get the beers we need, and just pull it out. And if the waiters were short-staffed, guess what? We're the support, so we got to help them run tables. Oh my god. It was crazy. So that's when I realized, when you are working as a barback, you take your break whenever you can. You know, but you can't really be sitting down. You gotta take a quick break by, standing up. And leaning against the freaking counters or something. If the cook made a little bit of extra food that somebody didn't want, okay, you take a little bit of that, munch on that, keep it moving. Because you're pretty much like doctor on call. You are essentially a doctor on call when you're working in the bar. And New Year's came around. Well, when I first got the job, the manager asked me if I was even 18 and if I was old enough to even be working there. I said, I was honest with them. I'm like, no, I'm 17. Well, I don't remember if I said 16 or 17. This man's response was, well, you're tall and you're a tall Mexican, so you could pass for 18. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Either way, we got paid in tips. Whatever the bar made, they kept a good percentage, and then the remainder was split among the barbacks. If anybody wanted to leave us a tip from the bar or from busting tables, same thing. We would pull it all together at the end of the night. What's up, Unroyal? And then we would just split it. That's primarily. So when I got older and I worked for another bar in the same chain though, but for a different location, that's when I was more understanding of the fact that we made our money from tips. Our paycheck for 3 days was, I think, like $60. So $20 a night for like 6 in the afternoon to about 4 in the morning. So yeah, 10-hour shifts, no breaks. $60 was our take home from an actual check. The remainder was bar tips. But again, because it was Fridays and Saturdays, it'd be like at least 100 to 150 a night. So that wasn't too bad. So when I was underage working at a bar, I didn't get any check, but I got to keep the cash. And it's crazy because I never would have imagined when I was 9-10 years old and my parents owned the deli on the opposite side, well, on the adjacent part of the lot. So let's say the corner's like this, right? One street goes on this way, the other street goes across. The bar was on this side of the block, and my parents' deli was right around the corner, like a couple of buildings up. But we had the shared parking lot. I never would have thought, when I was the age of 7, 8 years old, helping my parents out when they had the deli, just listening to the music from the bar in the back in the parking lot, and then just dancing to it like nobody's business, that I would end up working there for a little bit, underage. But it happened without even thinking about it, without even expecting it. It happened, and I did get a hit on a few times by a couple of the women, and it was interesting. They invited me to a few drinks. I declined, unless of course it was given by the actual staff. And on New Year's Eve, oh my God, I don't fully remember what I had to drink. 2 kamikazes, a Long Island iced tea. Even as a teenager, the Long Island iced tea was one of my favorite drinks. So, 2 kamikazes, a Long Island iced tea, a Jaeger bomb. I want to say maybe like 3 glasses of champagne, because we have one of the big bottles that we split amongst ourselves. Still working, still working. So, had all that. When I made it home, because I got, I was lucky. I lived in one city. The bar that I worked at was in another city. And because I was, I was a teenager, the only way back home was with one of my uncle's friends, who was his friend and roommate, who worked as a bodyguard at the bar across the street. So, they closed down the bars at the same time. So I'd head out from the bar, say goodnight to everyone, walk across the street, wait for my friend, and then we would just drive home. And New Year's morning, I waddled up the stairs. Couldn't get my key in. Finally, when I got it in, mind you, my mom, the person who told me to go work at a bar, to help pay bills, to help pay for rent, standing in the living room. Have you been drinking? Stone cold face. Have you been drinking? I have no idea what you're talking about, Mom. I'm fine. You're barely able to stand. No. Just relax. I'm just tired. I worked a long shift, and I leaned up against him like, I'm just a little tired. She's like, you're drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm just gonna go get some rest. Do you need money for laundry or for groceries or something? Let me know. Love you, Mom. Went right to my room, conked out. Woke up 3 hours later with like minor bone aches, and I'm like, time for school yet? Wait a minute. I don't go to school. Fuck it. Some of my funniest memories have been working in bars. That honestly has been some of my funnier memories working at bars. The second time I ever wound up working at a bar, I had already lived out here in Connecticut, and if there's one thing I'm gonna say, I have, with everything else in my life, the people that I've gotten to meet along the journey of my life have always been great people. You know, well, for the most part. And I remember when I applied to work at the other bar. You know, my uncle, who then moved also to Connecticut, and he was working in one of their other locations, you know, let me know that they were hiring there. And at that time, I was able to drive. I think it was like 24. No, wait. I think I had just turned 21, because it was like I want to say maybe like a year or two after I was diagnosed with MS. So I think I was diagnosed right when I turned 19. So I was like 21. So I hadn't had any flare-ups, and you know, in between the first one and at that point. So, as you know, me being me, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. 3 days out of the week, you know, it's a time frame I already was able to do, you know, because I've done it in the past, so I didn't feel like it was anything too big to adjust to. Made sure I slept in during the day I had to go to work, or the night I had to go. Made my way over. But I want to say like 3 days prior, when I applied for the job and I was told I got the job. The first day I went, and it was a great night. So I ended up, you know, paying back some bills. You know, I was only like $140. I think I made that night, or like 130 or 140. So I didn't really have much bills to pay, so I just took care of what I needed to for that day, and I was fine. And then my youngest sister, you know, it was going to be her birthday. So we went. Well, the bar location was in a mall. So we went to the mall that day. You know, it was right before. It was like on a. What was it? Maybe like a few hours before my shift. So I knew I was gonna have to come back anyways, but I didn't care. My sister let me know that it was, you know, reminded me it was her birthday coming up, and I was like, oh shit, you know, with everything that I have been dealing with, I wasn't, you know, my memory wasn't the greatest. So I was like, oh, damn, I forgot. So I had no money in my pocket. I was like, I need to be able to get my sister something for her birthday. And I went to the bar. I went to the manager, and I said, listen, I need a huge favor. Can I get an advance of $100? And I'll pay it back, you know, at the end of my next shift. He looked at me and he said, $100? I said, yeah. It's my sister's birthday and I want to see if I can at least get a something nice. He said, alright, come with me. Went into the office, took out $100, and he said, listen, I'm trusting you with this, okay? I said, don't worry, sir. You'll have it as soon as possible. He didn't have to trust me, you know, as a businessman, especially to somebody who had just started working there. He didn't have to trust me. He could have easily said no. He said yes. I came out of the bar happy as hell, told my sister, guess what, sis? Let's go get your gift. She said, really? I said, yeah. Let's go get your gift. So, I forgot what I got my sister for a gift. We also grabbed a bite to eat. And we went back home. Went to work that night. The next morning, I counted how much I made. I went up to my manager and I said, hey, boss, remember how you gave me the advance? Here you go. Thanks. It means a lot that you helped me out, so here you go. I said, all right, thanks. He said, if you ever need another one, let me know. I never needed to borrow from him or from my job or get an advance at all, because it was literally just for that. If I have to struggle on my own, I'll struggle. But because it was something I wanted to do for somebody else, I took the chance. But then, after working there, 3 nights out of the week, I think it was like 2 months in, like barely 2 months in, I got another MS flare-up. My feet were hurting, everything felt like pins and needles. I started losing sensation up to my knees, and I ended up going to my doctors and my neurologist, and they said, the first thing my neurologist said was, why would you push yourself that hard? And the thing is, it wasn't for me, really. It was because, again, my parents had been split up. My mom was the only one making an income, and she was telling me that I needed to help as a man of the house. I need to be able to help with the bills. It didn't matter that I was diagnosed with MS. It didn't matter that I had, symptoms that weren't physically visible. To her, I'm the man of the house, so I need to be able to help. And I pushed myself. I said, fuck it. But I ended up in the hospital. And my neurologist scolded me a little bit and said, at most, try to find something easier. Something a little less physically taxing. And I thought to myself, all I've ever really known in terms of work is stuff that's physically taxed. And, I used to work part-time when I would move in with my father for like the summer season, landscaping. And it was living with my father that I found out that I had MS, because that's where I had my first flare-up. The doctors took care of everything, but then, after hearing that my mom was having issues back at home, struggling by herself, so I moved back. And it was just a bit of a bad cycle going back and forth with that, but so then afterwards, I tried to apply for disability, but I got denied 3 times. I couldn't figure out why until the 3rd time. They finally did an IQ evaluation to make sure, my brain was still functioning properly and stuff. So, the day I showed up for the evaluation, I checked what time it was when I went in. It was, I think, 10:15 or something like that. 10:15. Because the appointment was at 10. But I guess, the doc was busy with somebody else. By the time I got in, I was looking around at what time it was, not what time it was, but how it looked outside. And the first question the doctor asked me was, without looking at your phone or watch, if you have one, would you be able to tell me what time it currently is? So I looked around and I said, like 10:43. I feel like it's about 10:43. This man's looked at his watch, got wide-eyed, and said, well, I've never had anybody nail the time on the dot. So what do you mean? It is 10:43. I've always had people guess within the, within the 5-10 minute range. Never Had somebody guess the right time. Exactly. He's like, I think you're free to go. I'm like, son of a bitch. I have one job. One job. And I guessed the right time. So then we went through the whole evaluation, the whole neurological test, puzzle test, memory test. And then after I got the report, I tried to apply it one more time, got denied. So then I went to a lawyer's office, let them know my situation. She asked me, well, do you have the paperwork from when they did your IQ test so I could see what they found? I'm like, yeah, I have it with me. I kept everything in a manila envelope, so I handed it to her. And she looked, she skimmed through it, and then she's like, well, here's why they denied you. I'm like, well, why? Haven't you even read your own paperwork? No. No. I haven't read it. Why? She took out a highlighter and highlighted where it said what the results were of my IQ. It's a... Okay, I looked at the number, and I'm like, it says 124. What's that mean? She's like, it means you're smarter than the average person. I'm like, what? That's when she explained to me, yeah, the average IQ, the way it's measured on the median, it's 100. 10 points above is gifted. I think 20 is brilliant. 30 is something like... all I know is if you hit 150 or higher, you're classified as a fucking genius. Anything below 100, you're classified as closer towards the spectrum or something. So she said, it's because of your IQ that they denied your claim multiple times. All they have to do is look at that and right off the bat that they're like, this guy's freaking smart. Why the hell is he gonna be applying for disability? And I said, oh, son of a bitch. My brain was my own worst enemy. But this was like 35 now, so this was about 11, 12 years ago. So again, the effects of multiple sclerosis hadn't hit me to a point where it's physically and neurologically as noticeable as it is now. And even I've, jotted down notes here and there over the years to see what I've noticed have been minor differences since then and now. Last time we moved, though, I couldn't find it, but I can tell that my processing speed isn't as fast from thought to speech, and even then, sometimes when I talk, more frequently my language is a little more slurred, as if I was like drunk or drowsy, even though I'm not. But Mr. Yamadi, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just doing some tankery and talking about my experience in this thing called life. And so, yeah, I hope you're having an awesome day, and thank you for stopping on by and hanging out with us. My sense of memory has definitely declined in terms of short-term memories compared to long-term memories. Sensation in my hands, pretty good. Like every now and then, after a while, I'll get like minor pins and needles. And when it comes to touching things, I don't know if maybe the sensation is just not there as much. I could stand fairly hot steaming water, and I could somewhat feel the sensation of it burning, but not as much as I guess somebody without any sensor disorder could instantly feel like, ow, it burns. And I'd be like in there just washing my hands, like discomfort. But so yeah, and I don't think there's really too much in terms of physically. A lot of it is more neurological. But the thing is, because for the longest time it wasn't physically visible, and even now that it's physically visible, some of my family, I guess the majority of my family, still don't accept or see that I'm dealing with something. To them, it's either me being lazy, um, or not trying enough, or not putting in as much effort, or me just looking for a free ride. And it's like I look around my current living situation and I'm like, who the hell would want a free ride to this crap hole? Like, seriously. I've had, I think, like 5 flare-ups since then and now, my first diagnosis, because I refuse to let myself be seen as worthless, and refuse to be seen as, like, not doing enough, even if it means, pushing myself physically. So because of that, I I've still worked like whenever I can, like multiple hours, well, whenever I could, multiple extended hours, doing and the thing that I know best, which is physical labor. And more so because, as an example, a few years ago, like when my wife and I first started dating, so I was like 24 to 25. With my father, I would help him in his landscaping business, and he also did some remodeling contracts. And there's this one friend that he made who was in real estate, flipping houses. So she would buy a house, a fixer-upper. Between her and her husband, they would put whatever money they needed to make it look good and flip it. And they had asked my father to help with a lot of the yard work, the maintenance, planting shrubberies, planting bushes, that. But they wanted help with remodeling, like interiors and stuff like that. So my father let them know about me and told them, listen, I have a son who's a very bright young man, very creative, and he's smart. Let me bring him over. So at first, my father had me with him and doing the landscaping stuff. And I would be curious as to how they would be designing the interior of the houses. And, I would just start striking up conversations with, the boss, and her friend, my father's friend. And, my father let her know and her husband know, listen, if you guys need to utilize my son for any help on the inside, decorating, I'm sure he can get it done. So they started letting me look at the interiors of the house, seeing what they were remodeling. One of them was like the barn door style doors for a bedroom. Remodeling a closet to be spacious enough to fit in a washer and dryer, even if it was one of the top stackers, And they taught me how to do a lot of demolition and measuring for interiors, leveling for, like light fixtures to make sure they're placed in the proper orientation and space from each other so it looked centered to the room. So it was a lot of fun. And then exterior stuff, doing fences, shrubberies, planting small trees. It was a lot of fun. And the pay was incredible too. I want to say I was making, starting, $25 an hour, or either 20 or 25 an hour, right? But again, because they were impressed of how well I was doing, they bumped it to 30 an hour. And I think they bumped it to 35 an hour. Because it got to a point where I would bounce ideas on like on how to orientate or set up certain remodelings, or like for interior decoration, for setting the stage, you know, staging a house so it could be sold. What would work for the look and the feel that they were trying to go for? Maybe what kind of like couches, tables, dressers would work. And it would be stuff that they would pick up on the cheap, like from wholesalers or stuff like that. And it was an amazing experience. And I got to work at my own pace, so being able to do something like that was fun. But if I were to try to do that now, 10 years later, physically, I might not be able to do as much. And I think for me, out of everything, that is the only thing that would ever start to upset me, is that progressively I can see where I can no longer do as much as what I used to be able to do. And it's like, fuck, you know? But I find something else I can do. So then I started working at Big Lots. One of their stores is a stalker. Once again, some heavy lifting, nothing too major. I work for a cleaning company, which I actually ended up winning a raffle for one of their holiday parties. Oh my god. So for that one, I'm probably going to finish off on that story and then just call it. Yeah, because I got like 5 minutes before I hop into the wasteland. So for that one, it was a Christmas party about a month before I quit. Because I wasn't like happy with how the management was. So we were invited to their Christmas party. My daughter was just a newborn. And we were running late. I think the event was from like 9 to 11. And we got there almost 10:15. And they had a big old basket with a whole a jar. They had a big old jar with a whole bunch of names on there for people, like for the workers to drop their name in and get a chance to win a gift basket. So I wrote my name down and tossed it in there. Sat down at our table that was designated for us, you know. Sat through the whole spiel. When it came time to do the raffle, two of the managers, they pulled out the jar, gave it a light shake, you know, just like that, and started calling out the names. I tell my wife, I'm like, those baskets actually look pretty nice. So I wonder how many they got. I said, hell, I wouldn't mind winning one of those, just because they look really nice. Like they had like a really nice assortment of, I think it was like wine, dried meats, cheese, I think a gift card or two. And as I went to turn back around, they call up my name. I'm like, wait, what? I thought I misheard, so I'm like, okay. And then my wife said, Johnny, I think they just called your name. And I turn around and listen. So I hear they actually called my name again. I'm like, oh, we won a freaking gift basket from a raffle? Let's go! So I went up, you know, big old goofy smile on my face. I go, I get the basket, you know, say thank you, make my way back. I look at the basket, I'm like, yeah, there's some nice stuff in here. No. And the event, got my daughter's picture taken with Santa. And then about a month or so later, I quit. About a month or so after, I was like, like, I'm not too happy with the work environment. The pay is not where I would like it to be for the work they're requiring in the time frame they're requiring. So it would be like, okay, you get a set time frame to do a set amount of work. But then they would say, oh, listen, could you also do this while you're doing that? You know, can you clean up this area too? Would you mind vacuuming this room as well? You know, they're about to add a new office. Could you just add that? Am I gonna get the same time? You know, am I gonna get a little more time to do it? Well, try to do the best you can within the time frame. Really? Really? So it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. My supervisor did the best he could, to make things work. But the head boss was like, nah, it's not working out. So I'm like, you know what? Before they fire me for something that it's kind of out of my control, I'm out. Peace. Ended up getting another job. So I had already lined up a job so that when I quit, I was like, you know what? I'm essentially starting by the next cycle, so I'm out. Anyways, all that being said, to those who have been able to stop by, drop on in real quick, I really appreciate it. And my friend Leo, don't worry, I'm gonna join in a little bit. Sent me the invitation, party invite. So I'm going to hop off of here. I'm gonna go outside to check real quick to see if my glasses things came in, so that I could fix my glasses, so I won't have to be rubbing and squinting my eyes every couple of minutes. And get something real quick to eat, and I'm going to hop right back on and into the wasteland because I am super excited to see all the stuff that we're getting between the event and the shop co-op. That works. Alright, in that case, I am going to hop off here, do what I need to do, and as soon as I hop back on in, I'm hopping right into the party chat so that my co-host, Leo the Collector, and I can go back and forth as to what we feel are items worth getting, price-wise, look-wise, and all that good stuff. So until then, hopefully I get to catch y'all there, and if not, I hope you all have safe travels, have fun, stay safe, and if you don't believe in ghosts, you better believe, because we believe in each other. So until then, see ya.